everyone, and welcome back to English Club. I hope you all are doing great, and I'm really happy to catch up with you again today. Today, we will be discussing about a poem called Caged Bird. This poem is a famous poem written by Maya Angelou, a popular American female writer. Caged Bird is a celebration of Black resilience and dignity. Maya Angelou compares the plight of a free bird with a caged bird. She is able to powerfully invoke upon the suffering of the oppressed because she depicts the suffering of a caged bird in contrast to the freedom and the joy experienced by a free bird. The very first paragraph starts with the depiction of a free bird. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind and floats downstream. A free bird leaps on the back of the wind. This word shows enthusiasm, which is experienced by the free bird, and it floats downstream. That means there is a metaphor, there is a comparison between wind and river. So the wind is compared to a stream of water. So for the bird to fly in the sky is similar to floating on a river till the current ends and dips his wing in the orange sun rays. Now, because wind is compared with river, so while the free bird is flying and the orange sun rays are falling on its wings, it is as if it is dipping its wings in the river of the water and dares to claim the sky. The free bird is so confident about its freedom because it has never known restraint. It can go anywhere. It doesn't have to ask for permission from anywhere. It has not been held captive. It doesn't know what captivity is all about. So it is so confident that it dares to claim the sky as its own, which has no boundary and which is limitless. The following stanza says, "But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage." Now, suddenly there is a contrast from the first paragraph to the second paragraph. But a bird that stalks down his narrow cage. So till now we were discussing about a free bird, and Maya Angelou here moves on to the description of a bird which is in a cage. So again, imagery, examples, narrow cage. So narrow cage shows that it has limited space to even move around. So that bird is stalking down its narrow cage, can seldom see through his bars of rage. Now the bars of a cage are compared to bars of rage. Rage means anger. So it can hardly see through those bars of the cage because it's a narrow cage and it has bars. So this bird can hardly look at the outside world. And the metaphor is used as bars of rage. So these bars of the cage are similar for the bird to bars of rage because of this narrowness, because of this limited existence. It's full of rage, it's full of anger, it's full of frustration. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied. Again, in the same paragraph, there is more imagery which has been employed, and very powerful imagery which says wings are clipped. So we can imagine the plight or the suffering which the bird is undergoing. Its wings are clipped, so physically also the bird has been tormented, and its feet are also being tied so it can hardly move about, and its wings are clipped so that it might not be able to fly off. So he opens his throat to sing. Now the bird is unable to fly, the bird is at the same time unable to walk. There is no other choice remaining for the bird, and though it is undergoing so much of suffering, it still longs for freedom, still it wants to rejoice, and still without any other option, it goes ahead and opens its throat to sing a song. Then in the following stanza, which is third stanza, the narrator says, "The caged bird sings with a fearful trill." Now the caged bird has decided to sing a song. But then even in its song, even in its voice, there is fear which is infused in its tune of things unknown, and the song is about unknown things. Why unknown? Because the bird is inside the cage, it has not known the outside world, and still Without seeing that world, it is still longing or it is still yearning for that freedom. And it sings about those unknown things, about the unknown world. But longed for still. So the caged bird sings with the fearful trill of things unknown, but longed for still. Though these are unknown things, but they have been longed by the bird. And his tune is heard on the distant hill. And, and its song is so powerful that though it is infused with fear, it is still heard on a distant hill. That means it is heard far off. For the caged bird sings of freedom, and the song is actually about freedom. Freedom is what the caged bird is longing for. The free bird thinks of another breeze. Now, again, from the description of the caged bird, the poet moves back to the depiction of a free bird to further contradict the situation of the two birds. The free bird thinks of another breeze. On the other hand, the free bird is again thinking of another breeze which would blow, and it could again go and fly in the sky. And the trade winds soften through the sighing trees. So it's thinking about the trade winds which would blow, and and the trees obviously will make sound to the wind. And it's thinking of the fat worms waiting on the dawn bright lawn. It's thinking about the food it will get to eat on the morning lawn. And he names the sky as his own. Again, the last line says it names the sky as his own. So the free bird considers itself as the owner of the sky. There is a continuing paragraph, but a caged bird stands on the grave of dream. Again, there is a shift from the free bird to the caged bird. And because the poet keeps shifting from the plight of the caged bird and then onto the freedom of the free bird time and again, this poem becomes all the more powerful in its sense of suffering experienced by the caged bird. But a caged bird stands on the grave of dreams. Now, the word grave of dreams, again, some imagery is employed in this paragraph. For a caged bird, it is as if it is standing on its grave of dreams, because inside the cage, it is not able to realize any of its dreams. This is why it's similar to a grave. His shadow shouts on a nightmare scream. And the song of the caged bird has turned into a nightmare scream. His wings are clipped and his feet are tied, so he opens his throat to sing. Again, the poet uses the same words, same imagery. Wings are clipped and his feet are tied, to again focus on the plight of the caged bird. The concluding paragraph of this poem again repeats the second stanza. The caged bird sings with the fearful trill of things unknown but longed for still, and his tune is heard on the distant hill. For the caged bird sings of freedom. So this is a repetitive paragraph in which the poet again highlights that the caged bird starts to sing the song again. It doesn't go hopeless. Even after the circumstance, even after the situation in which it is never giving up on its hope for freedom. It sings the song which is again infused with fear, and it sings of those unknown things, and still those things are the dreams which the caged bird wants to realize. And his tune is heard on the distant hill, because because this song is so powerful, it can be heard far off places. For the caged bird sings of freedom. And again, this powerful song is about freedom. So when you read the entire poem, you can feel the suffering that the oppressed is going through, that the caged bird is going through in its cage, especially with the words like feet which are tied, wings being clipped, narrow cage. Certain words expresses the state and the plight of the caged bird very, very powerfully. So there is imagery which is being used in the poem as a poetical device. Then there are metaphors which have been employed by the poet to highlight upon the plight of the two birds. This is a very powerful poem of Maya Angelou, and again it is a very popular and famous poem. It was actually published in 1983. Now, I really hope that this explanation has helped you to better understand and interpret this poem, and we will be looking forward for your comments. I would really request you to like, subscribe, and comment and share. So, if you have any request for any particular topics that you may need help with, you can always update it in the comment sections, and we will be glad to help you. Thank you so much for your time today, and looking forward to catch up with you again. Bye bye. Thank you.